You've got an amazing new synth app or a fantastic new effect app, and you want to use it in GarageBand on your iPad or iPhone. How exactly does that work? Hey, it's Patrick. This is the GarageBand Guide. Let's talk about AuV3 apps. And yes, I am going to be talking about AuV3 or Audio Unit version 3 apps exclusively in this video. Yes, you can still use apps via inter-app audio, but Apple has been very clear about phasing inter-app audio out as an audio routing solution. It doesn't always provide the most stable experience, and AuV3 is just by all accounts vastly superior, to the point where I don't even really consider spending time with an app unless it's an AuV3 nowadays. By the way, if everything I've just said makes zero sense to you, I've got a video on the channel that explains the difference between AuV3 and inter-app audio on the channel. Check the linky in the dinky for that one. By instrument apps, I mean things like synths, pianos, and instruments, apps that you can actually play. For the purposes of this video, I'll use one of my favourite piano apps on iOS, Pure Piano, but you can follow along with any AuV3 instrument app. Alright, in GarageBand iOS's sound browser, swipe to the external tab and select Audio Unit Extensions. Here you'll see a list of every single AuV3 instrument you currently have installed on your device. Tap the app you want to use, in this case it's Pure Piano, and it will open up inside GarageBand. When you open an AuV3 instrument inside GarageBand, it will use GarageBand's keyboard interface instead of the one native to the app. Now this can be really handy, for example, if you've opted to have GarageBand display note labels on its keys. You'll also have all of GarageBand's built-in controls like sustain, octave transposing, etc. Here's what Pure Piano looks like when opened as a standalone app, and here's what it looks like when opened as an audio unit in GarageBand. You can extend the interface of most apps in GarageBand by tapping these two arrows. This hides GarageBand's keyboard, so you'll want to hook up an external MIDI controller if you plan to record like this. When you're ready to record, you do it in exactly the same way you would any other GarageBand instrument, by simply tapping the record button. One of the best things about hooking up an app via AuV3 is that it will record in MIDI, allowing you to dive into your regions and do things like edit individual notes, add quantization, and more. Effect apps work in a completely different way. And by effect apps, I mean things like reverbs, compressors, tape saturators, pretty much anything that does something to an already existing sound. For this demo, I'll be using AudioKit Verb, a brand new and completely free reverb app from one of my favourite iOS developers, AudioKit. Again, feel free to follow along with whatever AuV3 effect app that you have installed. In this GarageBand project, I have one track set up that has a loop in it. To add your effect app, first make sure that the track is selected by tapping on the track header. Next, tap the track controls icon, and then tap the arrow next to where it says Plugins and EQ. You'll be taken to a list of plugins and effects that are currently loaded onto this track. Tap Edit in the top right, and then tap on one of the green plus icons. This will bring up a list of built-in effects that come packaged with GarageBand, but if you tap Audio Unit Extensions at the top there, you'll be shown a list of every AuV3 effect app you currently have installed on your device. As you can see, I have a real problem saying no to apps. RIP my wallet. Scroll down to the effect you want to add. In this case, I'm looking for Audio Kit Verb or Rack Reverb, as it's unhelpfully listed as here, and then just tap on it. Your effect is now added to your selected track. To adjust the parameters and controls of your effect, just tap on it again in the menu and its interface will pop up. Just like with the pure piano app we looked at earlier, some effect apps will allow you to expand their interface to fit the full window. But this reverb is fairly straightforward, so it only takes up around half of the available window space. And if I set the track off, I can adjust the parameters of the effect in real time as the track plays back. When you're finished fiddling, just hit done in the top right corner and then the track controls icon to close that menu too. Now that you know how to use AuV3 apps in GarageBand, all that's left is to go forth into the App Store and grab some. But with there being literally thousands of music making apps available, you might be wondering where to start. Well, here is a really good place to start. These are my favourite iOS music making apps of 2021. There's a good mix of instrument and effects apps in there, as well as a couple of cheeky freebies. So give it a click and check it out.